Apologies, Kellen. Nog was sure he saw water this way.
Not to worry. We should have enough to last until we reach the city.
A long ride that promises to be. Nog would have a story to forget the heat.
But of course, indeed, you have just reminded me of one. I saw it not in the scrolls, but in a journal many years ago. I shall try my best to recall it in the writer's own words.
My name is Talim Rend. This is my confession, and my warning. Once, I was one of the Empire's most cunning spies. But I left that life behind when my son Novus was stricken with a terrible madness. I sought help from the Temple, from Outlander healers, and even Ashland mystics. None could help him. So I set out to make a bargain. In Morrowind, it is death to commune with Sheogorath, the Daedric Prince of Madness. They say he is a corner of the House of Troubles. But to save my boy, I would commune with any devil you could name. And so it was that I sought the fabled land of madness, a place they call the Shivering Isles. And, God's help me, I found it.
You want me to do what? I'm the Daedric Prince of Madness. I don't make people sane. I'd have to be crazy to do that. And I am crazy, so I'll do it. But here's the bargain, mortal. You want me to make one person sane? You've got to bring 3 people around to my side of the coin. You understand? 3 lovely broken minds for one boring whole one. Oh, that's fair, isn't it? Given that you're desperate and I'm mean.
You have a deal.
Wonderful! I promise it'll be the most fun you've ever had. Scratch that. It'll be the most fun I ever had. But I'll have enough for both of us.
Xanar fled into the night, but there was no escape. Seeing our ghosts had broken the assassin, who would live out his days in fear of his long-dead victims, I almost pitied the old killer. But I was one step closer to curing Novus. It had almost been fun deceiving the Baron, inflating his already massive ego, until he hurled himself from a cliff, believing he could fly. Lazra was horrified, and said she would no longer do Sheogorath's bidding. But I couldn't stop. I was only one mind away from curing Novus. The explosion and the gas conspired to kill most of the Reachmen along with the Bretons. Technically, her mission was a success, but witnessing such a massacre, with the murder of priests weighing so heavily on her soul, was too much for Portia to bear. I hear she did not speak after that day, afraid to utter another command, or to share another secret that might hurt someone. She was, in other words, a better person than I. After all, I was the true architect of the atrocity. I hadn't been sure the flowers would react violently with the poison, but I had known they would not cure it. Yet as I journeyed home, my guilt was a whisper, next to the expectant joy of seeing my son whole again. Imagine then my horror when I found my house empty. I ran to a neighbor, desperate for anyone who could tell me about my son. My boy, Novus, where is he? Did he run off? Did someone take him?
Talim, what are you saying? Novus is dead. He's been dead for more than a year. Don't you remember? We buried him together.
Wait, Nog is confused. So the boy Talim was trying to say was dead the whole time, and Talim didn't know? But he buried him, so he must have known. And if he knew, why do these things he did?
These are exactly the questions Talim wanted answers to. He returned to the Shivering Isles to seek them.
Once, long ago, the one you know as Sheogorath walked the earth as Jigalag, the Daedric Prince of Order. I was his librarian, the keeper of his endless records. The other Daedric princes feared his power, so they conspired to transform him into that which he hated most, the essence of chaos itself. Sheogorath has suppressed his memories of Jiggalag and destroyed almost all trace of him, save for two, myself and the sword of Jiggalag, which is lost to him. I suspect I know where that sword is. Find it, and Sheogorath will see you. Though whether to thank you or kill you, even I cannot predict.
Unable to withstand his own terrible memories, Sheogorath relented. He restored my memories and lifted the cloud of madness from my mind. I also made him promise to leave Luzra and Siriel in peace. In exchange, I promised to leave the Isles forever. I return home now to nurse my grief, and perhaps in time, to plot my revenge on the cult of the worm. My warning to you, then, is this. There will always be a devil seeking a bargain, promising to take away your pains. Do not trust them. The past may be the heaviest burden, but it is our burden to bear.
Does Kellen not have any happy tales?
A few. But as the story reminds us, we must remember the darkest tales as well.